someday you might see it. Yeah, never say die. Got to go.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the semifinals of the Subscriber Dynasty series, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 1. Today we have Fel playing as Bastion Masawa versus Kiryu playing as, Titan of all people. I know, Titan making it to the end is pretty damn impressive, and already starting with Litmus Doom Swordsman yet again. This deck is consistent. I wonder if, what is his name? Terror King can beat this card. I don't know if it can. All I do know is that this deck of Archfiends do have a lot of options for dealing with Litmus Doom Swordsman. Alright, so Pandemonium is on the field. That is very good. But what are you going to do about the Litmus Doom Swordsman? What kind of monsters do you have planned? You have the Shadow Knight Archfiend. Okay. I don't think that's going to be able to beat Litmus, sadly. I don't think it has any effect that does that, but, you know, maybe it does. I don't know. And Spirit Barrier, I would have waited till battle phase, but to each their own. And falling down, that's why you wait until battle phase. Your monster is about to do in total 4,000 damage. That was a big misplay, not waiting until battle phase. Oh, baby. You are paying for it. Alright, Bastion's best monster has been stolen. They only have one card in hand. They need the Mathematician. Yeah, falling down, your Pandemonium does not save you from that. You need... Oh, Ring of Destruction would also not work on this, actually. You're going to lose. It's actually a guaranteed victory. After stealing that monster, it's a guaranteed victory, basically. All they need is Terror King to make sure this card does not get its effect off. Ring of Destruction can kill that, but you both... Oh, yeah, you both take 2,000. And that card's back. Oh, that's why. Because that card comes back, falling down, loses it. Never mind, you need an Archfiend on the field. Right? Alright. Unless you control an Archfiend card. It could be any Archfiend card, actually. So that was good, bringing back Litmus Doom Swordsman, but you're down to 2,000 life points, so you have to play safe. Which, playing safe is very hard to win with. That's okay, well, maybe you'll take a little damage for that, who knows. Oxygeddon attacks, kind of a brave attack there. Oh, it could beat Dark Bishop. That card sucks. And if the Ring of Destruction had failed, I mean, if this guy had succeeded, the duel would have been over. But with 3,000 damage, this is a clutch-ass semifinal round 1. This is awesome. Game 1 is super tight. Alright, and we have Shadow Knight Archfiend, which can do 100 damage back, but it's not going to win you any duels without you getting another falling down. Luckily, Pandemonium has stopped you from taking any extra burn this duel, which is why you haven't lost. Oh, I guess you don't do 100 because of Spirit Barrier, but ignore me. This duel can end right now if you can draw a monster. Oh, I guess you don't have any 2,000 beaters. That's just not you. Although this is 1,000 damage, so no, you only need a 1,200 beater, and you win the duel. Double spell. You get okay, get rid of that. What kind of spell card do you want? Falling down, maybe? Does that even work? I'm curious. What does falling down do exactly? It's gone, yeah. Equip spells don't work if you have to leave the field like double spell says, so yeah, that was kind of interesting. I guess you just showed off the rest of your hand. Granted, Living Fossil would not have won you the duel. You would not have had enough damage. 1,200 when the best thing you could have summoned would have had 800 attack. Yeah, that's not going to work. And here we go. Can you stall or can you find a way to burn your opponent? Granted, Archfiends do have options for burning their opponents down, but doesn't seem very good in this case, especially when their life points are this low. That can only be another Spirit Barrier or a random spell card, so that's not too risky. Desrook Archfiend will hold the field, that way you don't take any more damage. It will take another falling down to win this duel if you can top deck another falling down. Well, you're willing to pay 500 life points, which means you're going all in, which means you better have another falling down, because if you don't, this duel is over. And Axe of Despair does not work, sadly. You will still lose. But I understand why you did it, because why not? You're out of options anyway. It literally will not work. I mean, you can power up your monster all you want, but unless you have 2 of those, you're dead. Yeah, that's not going to work. I'm very confused. Unless this card's effect can stop it somehow, yeah. That was, I guess, an attempt. Whatever. I would have stalled a little longer if I could have, because, yeah, if they don't top deck a monster, you're still in the duel. But at the end of the day, it's fine. It was still an amazing game 1. It's time for game number 2. Will Titan be able to overcome this? Honestly, the fact that Bastion got Litmus Doom Swordsman so early in so many duels is very lucky. It's up to Bastion to go. It's up to Titan to go a little more aggressive, a little more quickly. Again, starting with Litmus Doom Swordsman. I can't believe the luck of this deck. It is not supposed to be this lucky. And they don't have any trap cards, so they will not be buffed. But if their opponent doesn't have any effects to get rid of it, it's not like it's going to do much. This is most likely Mathematician or Carbonetton, so let's see which one it is. Probably Carbonetton, actually, yeah. So Carbonetton will get them a Hyonzaru. Hyonzaru will destroy Archfiend Soldier. Yeah. That is pretty good. Acts of Despair, just to make sure you don't lose to Hyonzaru, is very smart. You might as well. Alright. So even if they do summon Hyonzaru, you could still beat that card. And unless they draw a trap card that's continuous, you can still win. So you can get rid of Hyonzaru. And then, again, like I always say, I think Terror King, I don't know if its effect does work, but maybe it works. We'll see. No new traps. Falling Down needs to take the Litmus Doom Swordsman. That is the best option. You take that card, you summon another monster, you tribute summon the Summon Skull. Oh my god, this card. This is a great duel number 2 from Titan. Screw strategy. Go, well, I mean, that was strategy. Go all in. If your opponent is lucky enough to get their freaking invincible monster that early, just steal it that early and then summon the Summon Skull. That's a huge one. That is a huge one. The ritual spell has an effect in the grave, apparently. I did not know that. I don't keep track of this stuff, not like it matters. This duel is basically over. Manju! I don't think you have the stars to summon another Litmus Doom Swordsman, so I think that everything's fine. Without those stars, if Titan could summon another powerful monster, this duel is over. Okay, granted, with this, the duel is not over because you won't get an attack off. But you still need another powerful monster. What other powerful Archfiend cards could you possibly have? Okay, you can get Archfiend Soldier back. That is pretty good. 1900 beater. 1900 does 500 damage. That's 3000. You need a monster with 600 attack to win the duel. You do not have another monster. That is pitiful. If you had a monster with 600 attack, which I believe every Archfiend has that many attack, you literally would have won the duel. Game number 2 could have been yours. But seeing as your opponent only has a Litmus card in their hand, and thanks to this card, you do get something new. That's really nice. Desruk Archfiend is nice. That is great. Oh man, this semifinal match is going crazy. Titan of the Shadow Riders is playing like a goddamn champ right now. And if they could attack directly with Desruk, the duel is over. Let's find out. It is Carbonetton. Carbonetton does get destroyed. Desruk goes in. Game number 2 goes to Titan. Which one of these competitors will be going for gold and obtaining the big trophy? I don't know. There's no trophy. And obtaining the freaking, hey, you're the best player of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 1. Which one of these characters is truly the best? Will it be Titan, the dark horse? Or will it be Bastion, someone most people expected to win? Alright, Pot of Greed is an amazing start. Archfiend's Oath can be useful if you manage to get the card you're looking for. Otherwise, you might throw away a card you like Monster Reborn. So let's see what you choose. Alright, or Falling Down. See what you just did to yourself? I bet you're kicking yourself right now. Sometimes it's better to be patient. Sometimes. But right now, you do need to go in. I'm just telling you. You do need... Ooh, going defensive with an Archfiend deck is an extremely bad sign. Granted, your opponent for once did not summon Litmus Doom Swordsman on the first turn. But still, that was a very bad sign to go passive. The only reason you go passive is if you got Desruk Archfiend or that one... what is it? What's that one card? Dark Bishop Archfiend. So with that card, you could take Pot of Greed, which is amazing. Getting your opponent's Pot of Greed is super clutch. And Pot of Greed gets you Mathematician, which gets you Hyonzaru, basically, because Carbonetton is going to hit the grave. And I'm assuming the other face-down card is a Carbonetton, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see what it is. Carbonetton gets you Hyonzaru. Yep, that's a very nice diamond monster. And here comes the ritual, getting rid of your other Carboneton most likely, and your current Hyonzaru. Oh no, you just have Water Dragon in your hand. Holy crap. All right, there we go. We got the Litmus Doom. Oh, look, it was Carboneton. We have the Litmus Doom Swordsman. No traps, though, so for a bit, it's not going to be that good. Just for a tiny bit. Mathematician goes in. It was Desruk. Okay, so it makes sense. That is one of those cards where you're forced to play defensively, but now that it's face up, you're going to have to pay 500 life points. Hopefully you're okay with that cost. All right. Paying 500 life points does suck. Hopefully you can top deck something good like Summon Skull to keep you into this duel. If you don't have something like Summon Skull or something beater-like, you're not going to be able to get through this, because Hyonzaru will tear you apart. And if you have Axe of Despair, then you'll be able to overpower. Oh god, we're going all in. What card are you looking for in this situation? I know you love looking for Terror King, but maybe look for something else. Falling Down, which you just threw away. Axe of Despair, interesting. Okay, you lost Shadow Knight, but that's not bad. Throwing away monsters does not suck. Pandemonium is really good. Okay. So, yeah, throwing away monsters does not suck. You did have, even better, Skull Archfiend of Lightning. That's the better one. I mean, yes, you have to pay for it, but with Pandemonium, you don't. Therefore, it's better. You're willing to do the damage knowing a second Hyonzaru is on the way because you're stronger than Hyonzaru. I respect that. Your opponent has low odds of getting Ring of Destruction, but they could get Spirit Barrier because there's 3. So if they get Spirit Barrier, you are in trouble. That always means you're in trouble. Carboneton gets you another Hyonzaru. It will take an Axe of Despair to take out the Hyonzarus and to keep you safe from the Litmus Doom Swordsman unless they draw Ring of Destruction. Ring of Destruction could fail against the Skull Archfiend of Lightning, though, so that's kind of interesting. Pandemonium protects you from the burn. You can Archfiend's Oath again, because if you throw away another monster, it's not the worst case scenario, but you want to draw... Axe of Despair is actually the best bet, or Falling Down. Okay, you choose Falling Down, throw away a soldier, that's fine. You don't need a soldier, unless you don't have a monster in your hand, but whatever. I ain't here to judge. Yes, I am. I'm here to watch. I'm enjoying. This is a great freaking semifinals. All right, playing a little passively, a little bit sad, but you do what you got to do. Skull Archfiend's going to let you draw 1 extra card. Very nice of him. All right, Mathematician says you can get a card. Phil's probably real happy with that. Bastion is feeling real happy. Their strategies are working. Unless their opponent can draw an Axe of Despair or a Falling Down, they are... Bastion is technically the one in control of this duel. And as long as they keep using Archfiend's Oath, they're going to burn. So, that's also a problem. I mean, granted, it could get them the card they're looking for. Axe of Despair or Falling Down, both are worth. But we need to see what they go for this time, because they've already lost some great cards, like Falling Down in the beginning. Valpon Archfiend dying is a good thing. You don't want to draw that card. That card sucks. That's one of the good ones to throw away. All right, now let's see. Another set card, and all you could do is destroy this card, which I still would do, because if it's a Carboneton, at least you're thinning out your opponent's deck, which is a bad thing, but in this case, it could be considered a good thing. It's Mathematician. Usually you summon that face up for Carboneton, but I guess he doesn't care because he already has 2 in on his field. Honestly, he's just waiting for a continuous trap, because if this is a continuous trap, it's probably just a bait spell card to scare the opponent. Double Spell gets you Pot of Greed again. That's pretty brutal. Pot of Greed. Not bad. Alright, stealing your opponent's Pot of Greed twice is super freaking good. And now that you have this big of a hand and this big of an advantage, you definitely can beat your opponent. But you didn't get lucky with a trap card still. Holy crap. This is the luckiest duel for Titan, because even though he hasn't drawn the cards he needs, yeah, technically he threw one of them away, his opponent still hasn't drawn anything either. And if he didn't draw Pandemonium, he would have been screwed, because he'd be taking pretty big burn by now. How much does this cost? Like 800? Only 500. Wow, this Summon Skull is not bad. That's not a bad Summon Skull. All right. Are you going to pick Falling Down again, or are you going to... You pick Terror King if you throw away... Oh, Infernal Queen would have been amazing. Infernal Queen is actually the card you kind of needed. One of the options. Oh, you have Falling Down, so you can get rid of Litmus Doom Swordsman for a second. And you're not allowed to use that spell card ever again. Which means the only way to beat Litmus Doom Swordsman is to overpower it. That is brutal. Absolutely brutal. All right. Honestly, I love that this card came into play because Bastion used it to stop Jaden's fusions, and now they used it to stop Titan from stealing. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. Love that play. All right. The question is, will that play be enough? Because unless they get the trap card, that Skull Archfiend with 1 Axe of Despair can hold them back. Ring of Destruction is also an optional trap card in this case. Because thanks to, what is their name? Kiryu, they keep paying the 500 life points, which means they're technically costing themselves the duel. Honestly, at this point, I might have stopped out of fear. Axe of Despair is now the only viable option. Yep, there you go. And you lost a second Infernal Queen, which could have helped you. That really, really sucks. Alright, like I said, it might be better to stop doing that, because deck out might be one of the ways you have to win this duel. If you summon a second Summon Skull, somehow get them both in Axe of Despair, this is still doable. Because remember, it says you can pay 500. You don't have to. You might need those life points for later. Your opponent finally got what they were waiting for. One of these is the trap card for sure. And as long as you hold MST till the last second, you'll feel a lot better. Alright, let's see what they do. Of course, Summon Skull might be able to take Ring of Destruction with its effect, so it might get lucky. And you're willing to pay again, really wanting that Axe of Despair, don't you? Whoa, that card is super interesting. It technically would help your opponent in the end. I wouldn't pick Shattered Axe. Because if it's a face-up trap card, that means this card will get 3,000 attack, and it's unaffected by trap cards. So this card is not worth targeting with that, and this card's not worth it either. Yeah, I don't know why you picked that card. You're kind of killing yourself here. Titan, big misplay. And just ending turn until they get the right card. So they definitely don't have the trap card yet. That's fine. That is fine. If you keep paying, you're gonna lose. You already kind of put yourself in a losing position now. You can't win by deck out, which means you have to win by battle, which is your own fault. I mean, that's the situation you put yourself in. If you keep paying, you're gonna really pay for it, because maybe they'll draw Pot of Greed later and they'll screw themselves out of a victory. I don't know. All I do know is that, yeah, there you go. Stop paying life points. Just play passively until you can get 2 Summon Skulls on the field, which you kind of need. Do not get me wrong. You need 2 Summon Skulls. I know you have more than one in your deck. One that's not immune and one that is immune. All right. Let's see. Do you have another Summon Skull in there? Or an Axe of Despair that we've been waiting for? What you got? This is a crazy final duel, to be honest. The fact that they're both playing so passively. Neither of them have a good option. Obviously, Limit Doom Swordsman's safe. There's the Pot of Greed I was talking about. Now they can lose the duel by deck out. Alright, so now you have a chance. But the problem is your opponent might have everything they need now. Ring of Destruction is probably on the field. Mathematician gets them Carbonet on, which means they're ready to go. They're ready to go. This will also thin their deck out quite a bit. So that means you could still win by deck out Titan. But Bastion Misawa is the smartest duelist in the goddamn game, even though he gets forgotten. Alright, Spirit Barrier's here. They're willing to go all in. You're going to wish. You're going to wish you didn't throw away all those Infernal Archqueens. That could have helped you. Kept this guy at 3,500 for a while anyway. Alright, here we go. Spirit Barrier will make sure this guy doesn't take any damage. Fell's in complete control of the duel. The best target, yep, go for the Skull Archfiend first. There's no reason not to. I don't think there's any trap that could save them because traps don't work on you. 500 damage has been achieved. And now if you can clear out their field, that'll be even better. I'm guessing that's a Desrook. Okay, no, Vilepon. Good, good. Mathematician should have killed that one, so you're in a good position. Especially if this is your third Vilepon. Ooh, Shadow Knight in defense mode. That is kind of gross. That is kind of gross. And Terror King in defense mode. Okay. Terror King lives. But for how long? It's all up to you now. How are you going to win this? You're almost out of turns. Axe of Despair will not save you anymore unless you have another Summon Skull. And even then, you got to watch out for your opponent's Ring of Destruction. Titan is probably going to lose given the field. Bastion is at full power, basically. Titan is playing defensively, which definitely means they're going to lose. Ring of Destruction to guarantee a victory. 2,000 damage will be dealt. 2 cancels it. Okay, so they will not be dealt. That means that they still have a guaranteed victory in the end, unless these trap cards can somehow save them. Which, honestly, they can, because they could summon Skull, most likely. But even if you do that, that's only stalling, and you have to stall for 14 turns, which is technically 28 turns. I don't think you have the life points to do that. Alright, here we go. Losing Ring of Destruction is a bummer, but it's not the end of the world. You could still Hyunzaru that card. Interesting. MST goes after Pandemonium to make them pay the life points. And if they have the trap card that make their opponent pay, that'll be interesting. Yeah. Litmus Dune Swordsman number 2 is coming out. You don't need Hyunzaru, I'm guessing. Oh no, you don't need those 2 cards in your hand. So, there is no way I could see you winning this anymore. With 2 Litmus Dune Swordsmen, even if you do have Archfiends Roar, they can still stop you. So, here we go. Hyunzaru attacks. Hyunzaru can attack this card, and then 2 monsters attack directly for a guaranteed game. Unless you have... No, even 2 Archfiends Roar probably won't be enough, will it? Desruk Archfiend dies. Litmus Doom, Archfiends Roar is your only hope. Yep. It will summon the Summon Skull, which will save you a lot of life. It'll save you from death. But unless you have 2 of those, you're already dead. Alright, Litmus Doom Swordsman attacks. 500 damage. Alright, Mathematician. It's 100% worth doing this. That means your opponent is okay with doing even less damage than they could have. They could have left you with 500 life points. Instead, they're going to leave you with, a lot. Oh, they're willing to crash because who cares? Spirit Barrier. Never mind. They just wanted new cards. And the second Litmus Doom Swordsman did not attack, even though it could have done 500 damage. What a weird day. Unless it already attacked and I missed it, but I'm pretty sure it didn't. Does this thing have an effect that I don't know about? MST gets rid of 1 Spirit Barrier, but come on, we know this is the second one. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Pandemonium is back. Not like it makes too big of a difference, but it is back. What will you do? If you need a monster, yeah, you have to Archfiend. You have to do this. Archfiend's Oath, but you would need to pick a monster that you can actually summon. And sadly, there's not many good ones in your deck. Terra King you can't even summon. Yep, it was your 3rd Vile Pawn. That was depressing. Monster Reborn can bring back the Summon Skull monster. That's your best bet. It is literally your best bet to bring back the Summon Skull monster. And then you gotta hope. You really gotta hope that this isn't a second Spirit Barrier and that they still haven't drawn it. It's not a second Spirit Barrier. Okay, you did 2,500 damage. Granted, with Terra, I understand now. If you had Terra King, you would have done a lot more, and that would have put you in a better position. So, you actually do have a chance of winning. You just need to get Axe of Despair all over again. We're back in the position where the Titan can win this if he gets his Axe of Despair. Do not Archfiend's Oath, whatever you do. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you have to get it now. If you don't have Axe of Despair now, you lose. So maybe now you do have to Archfiend's Oath. Screw what I said. If you do not get Axe of Despair, the duel's over. Alright, here we go. That's not gonna work. They're freaking trap. Okay, there's Terra King. It didn't matter, but they're freaking immune to traps. Literally. Yeah. This card. Unaffected by trap effects. You had to go for Axe of Despair. Just to make sure you had more attack than them. Oh, the duel is over, guys. There's no way Titan comes back. Even with everything they've done. I don't know what this final trap is, but it's not going to do 3,500 damage. And it's probably not going to let them last one more turn. The final Spirit Barrier has been set. Probably not final. They'll probably have one more after this too, but this is it. The end of the duel is here. The strongest card in Titan's deck has been defeated. Wait, Des Counterblow is not going to save you anymore. You won't have the life points for it to save you. And it doesn't work on these Litmus Doom Swordsmans anyway. Alright, Litmus Doom Swordsman attacks. Dark Bishop is dead. The final attack goes through. Kabuzales wins. Bastion is going to the finals. Hell yeah. That was a good one, everybody. That was great.